Hello and welcome and hello and good evening and welcome and hello. Greetings, salutations. Welcome to a very special sleepless insomniac edition of Un Poco Moss After Dark. That's right, it's Danny Deals. Thank you for joining me. I don't know if anybody's here. Probably nobody's watching because everyone with any sense is asleep. I time these shows just perfectly, so absolutely no one can watch, whether you're in the Midwest, West Coast, East Coast. Even my friends in Europe and the subcontinent are all fast asleep, so welcome and hello. Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining me. It looks like we have one viewer, and it is the great Katie Wentworth. If you're going to have only one viewer on your stream, it's got to be Katie Wentworth. The name you know when it comes to quality tiny micro streams with no viewers and no revenues and no point. Guys, welcome and hello and welcome. Thanks for joining me. Let's talk SoFi. Good evening. It is September 26, 2024. We're coming into an exciting Thursday. NASDAQ futures, all the NASDAQ futures in particular, tech is just going bonkers, up 276 points. It's about 1:15 a.m. out here in a beautiful, chilly Los Angeles this evening. Nice wind coming in off the Pacific. Could be a nor'easter. I don't really know. In any case, guys, I have to whisper. People are sleeping. Dogs are having birthdays. It's crazy out there. So we have Katie, we have Hoodie, Embiid, we have Clap My Dog. Good morning, everybody. Hello and welcome. Everybody's just, crying like babies. Chicken Little, the sky is falling. SoFi is going back to 6. Everybody sell. The facts are not lining up to that degree. We're going to talk a little bit about this Galileo product because I think it's important. It's secured credit with dynamic funding. Basically, it kind of allows your secured credit card, your debit card for the underlying bank account that secures the card, and the bank account itself to all talk to each other and work together in real time. So you have an accurate picture of your credit available without these, sort of disparate parts that catch up to each other at the end of the month. But guys, the stock is clearly in a midterm uptrend. I just think that's undeniable. We're making higher highs and we're making higher lows. And that's both, in this sort of midterm as well as in the short term. If you look at, a monthly or whatever, something that shows these daily candles, you'll note yesterday the low was like 758. Okay, today the low was significantly higher than that, like 771. So that's a higher low by 13 cents. You have to pay attention to that low end because that's kind of forming the base of the stock. It's critical as to where it's trading. So the stock only made lower lows 3 days, and I think it's going to reverse higher. I mean, it's very difficult to ascertain what some negative upcoming catalysts are going to be for SoFi. Essentially, all they can point to is, defaults might increase if we have a bad recession. And there's a lot of counter arguments to that, if we do get into a recession, they'll be cutting rates as fast as they can. It's going to provide a massive demand for SoFi's products. Fair value accounting is going to front load profit onto that. Might actually provide a spike for the next couple of years. I think Noto has game planned all these scenarios. It's like the guy has plans on the shelf for everything. Remember, he is, top of his class in engineering at West Point. So he's not your average douchebag CEO with a cheap suit and a haircut. I mean, this guy's got real substance. He's the real deal. So the chart looks good to me. This retracement is healthy. Remember, the stock was just coming off a 6 not too long ago. And so it spiked up to 850. But again, there was no consolidation up there. It's just been doing its sort of, standard SoFi sawtooth algo pattern. But that's fine because it's in an uptrend. It's been in a downtrend for a long time. I mean, basically, you could call it, I mean, these spikes I don't even really call an uptrend. I mean, basically the thing's been trading down since last June with a couple of spikes in there. So this is a very healthy trend that we haven't seen in over a year. In this nice controlled uptrend. What's going on, guys? We got looks like 12 people here. I apologize. I've not slept. I'm not thinking clearly. Welcome and hello and welcome, guys. It's Un Poco Moss. Really, really good article if you're familiar with Stone Fox Capital on Seeking Alpha. Really good article out today. So he goes through a lot of how these valuations generally look for growth stocks. Just kind of read some of his conclusions, like SoFi's forecast yearly results based on a decline in loan demand. So he's talking about where they're going to be 95% of 2023 levels, up from 92 to 95%. So more important guidance is hidden in the back of Q4 2023 earnings call, where they compound annual growth rate calling for 20 to 25%, GAAP EPS of 55 to 80%, 20 or 55 cents to 80 cents in 2026, and a 20 to 25% GAAP EPS growth beyond 2026. The hidden aspect was the expectation for revenue growth to reaccelerate in 2025 and 2026. Everybody's like, okay, SoFi's growth was, 60%, 30%. It's just going to be a 15% or less company going forward. Absolute hogwash, poppycock. This company's going to get back to growing at 30%. And it's going to do that not only on the back of lending, on the back of financial services, but also on the back of Galileo. This company has not yet begun to fight. We haven't seen the wheel work. We haven't seen Galileo really come out of that transition and announce any big customers, which they say are there. They say are in the pipeline. They say they're being onboarded. We have to see that on the books eventually. Whether it's this quarter, I don't know. Certainly hope so. At the Goldman Sachs conference, CEO Anthony Noto again highlighted the easy path to growth in the mortgage sector as the market reopens in the next year with interest rate cuts. One of the things I think Wall Street, or the bears, the shorts, like to sort of muddy the waters with, SoFi's success is inevitable. This company is not going bankrupt. It's not going out of business. It's going to remain a profitable company. It's going to continue to grow. And it's set up to do that almost automatically with the member growth, the deposit growth, the business model, the cost structure, the organic name recognition, all the advertising they have hooked up with sports. I mean, this company's not going anywhere. And people that try to cast doubt on it, that they have some, problems, their balance sheet or fair value accounting that's going to sort of blow up into some major tailspin and put the company out of business or cause it to have to do some panicked money raise. That just doesn't comport with reality. So I think the analysts who are saying that have zero credibility. They continue to trot out just absolute nonsense. Here's another interesting statement. The market has clearly given up on the growth opportunity ahead for SoFi, yet the company is set up for growth to reaccelerate here in the second half and into 2025. The market oddly only forecasts minimal growth, sub 15% in 2025 to reach revenues of $3.44 billion in 2026. Here's the interesting part. SoFi is set up to reach 2026 revenues of $3.9 billion. Based on our view, revenue hits the high end of internal targets for 25% growth in the next 2 years. And that's what I've been saying for, if you listen to the show, basically every single time I'm on, is the growth that they're assigning to this company is ridiculously low. They just assume because it's decelerated in this high rate environment where the wheel strategy hasn't been working and Galileo hasn't been growing, as fast as it should be or we'd like it to be. It probably is behind the scenes, but we're not seeing that hit the books just yet. It was like, okay, they're growing, 20% this year. It's going to be 15% next year. No, it's going to be 20, higher than that this year and much higher than that next year. Remember, Goldman Sachs is looking for 2.52 this year. So they have us almost, 4 billion by 2026 in sales. Even if you just, kept the same ludicrous like 3.5x sales multiple, you can see where this is going. But you'll see that they argue the company is just dramatically undervalued. So the company is set up for substantial financial services products growth, with revenues growing at an 80% clip this year. Now here's the headline. Here's the doozy. In reality, SoFi should have the following 12-month price targets based on a 2026 adjusted EBITDA target of 1.2 billion and the above growth rates. So at 15% adjusted EBITDA, you'd be looking at an $18 billion market cap or $17 price target. 25 times adjusted EBITDA, you'd be looking at a $30 billion market cap or $29 price target. Both the adjusted EBITDA target and the valuation multiples are conservative for 25% sales growth. Remember, SoFi has highlighted a ton of new business opportunities from small, medium enterprise. I think the SME, I forget what that stands for, small, medium enterprise, I think. Business checking and lending to insurance to new geographies. There's so many ways they can grow and without a lot of cost, and a lot of them are pretty obvious. This company is so much better set up for the future than these one-trick ponies. You guys seen the valuation, the type of multiples Upstart's getting? I mean, you make some deal with these big companies, maybe they're giving you sales, but they're not giving you profits. I mean, these valuations don't. When I look at companies like, Upstart, Palantir, and I look at their numbers, and then I look at the growth, and I look at SoFi, I just buy more and more SoFi. Just hand over fist. I mean, I there was a good video with Luke, who's, he doesn't like us pumpers. I don't blame him. I don't like myself either. But he's saying, he's just buying all the SoFi he can at these levels. So many people are saying that. So many U-turners. And these guys are really buying. They're not pumping this thing. I mean, there's no pump here. The market's it's obviously not going to let this thing run. Even if it deserves to go way, way up, it's not going up. So the people, I think, buying it are very sober to that fact, and they're realistic, and they know we're going to actually, the company's actually going to have to prove it to the market with these profits. It's not going to get anything handed to them. It's not going to get any tech multiple before the sales come. None of that's going to happen. So, you have to want to be here. You have to kind of want to be here with this one. You have to enjoy the ride. You have to enjoy the misery. You have to enjoy the suffering that comes with buying a high quality company where the stock price has been controlled by mechanics, shorts, bears, and it's really followed other fintechs, other growth stocks down into the toilet bowl, the abyss. So, we want to say it's only us, but like I said, another company like I'm invested in, Neo, that people were buying that company like $60 when SoFi was in the high 20s, and it fell all the way into the 3s. So other things, I mean, look at a company like a Teladoc. It's gone from like 300 to 15 or something. I mean, other growth stocks went way, way higher, way, way more crazy. And, SoFi going from 20s down to, mid 4s seems like a very dramatic drop. And of course it is when that's your money there. But, you have to average down. You have to look at the cycle of the company. When it was 3-4 years ago, this company should not have been trading near $30. And as they've improved, proven a lot to the market, management's gained credibility. I mean, one of the things Luke was talking about in his video, if you guys don't know Luke, I think his channel is called Stealth Wealth Investing, but I watched him for quite a long time. Tesla guy. He used to wear like sunglasses and kind of do like a Matrix thing. It's pretty funny. That's why I started watching it. But he's actually a really smart guy. He's very bald. But I don't hold that against him. He's talking about, how unusual it is for a public company to be as consistently beating earnings and as consistently growing as SoFi is. They never seem to hit that hiccup, that roadblock. They never seem to let one of these, crazy Ivans in the market, the interest rates, it never seems to hit them as hard as it should in the books. And that's because Noto is seeing the future. He's hedging risk. I mean, SoFi was only looking for, you know, 0.75 basis point rate cuts all this year, and we already got half a point in September. So, demand based on rate cuts is probably going to, exceed by quite a bit what SoFi management was calling for and what's in the guidance. And if you listen to LaPointe's last interview, CLP3, SoFi's great point guard distributing the rock to our big men down in the paint, you'll note that he said nothing new is in the guidance. No new products we're working on are in the guidance. No new rollout is in the guidance. Small business bank, nothing. Options, small business banking. Nothing new is in the guidance. And he's saying we're working on a ton of new stuff. So he's telling you we're sandbagging the guidance even harder than usual. But you guys should read this. Investors can value the stock based on GAAP profit at 10 cents or the addition of tangible book value up to 1 billion. The GAAP profit just doesn't capture the strong financials due in large part to amortization of intangible assets that have no financial impact, plus the stock-based compensation. So GAAP, the company still hasn't scaled. It's still a tiny little nothing burger doing 2.5 billion in sales. So these kind of ancillary items that don't really affect the core of the business hit the GAAP profit very, very hard. And that's why, unlike, my godfather, Charlie Munger, and my best BFF, Warren Buffett, I think EBITDA is a, valuable metric to look at in some cases, particularly when a company is growing very, very fast and they're going to outgrow that amortization. They're going to outgrow that stock-based compensation. You want to actually be able to look at something and say, what is the actual core business doing? And I think in SoFi's case, EBITDA is a very useful metric to take a look at. So the key investor takeaway is that SoFi Technologies has started trading upwards toward $8, but the stock is far too cheap. The fintech has far too many growth opportunities via just increased lending from lower interest rates before even launching new products, including a subscription service. Investors should continue to use the cheap valuation to load up on SoFi. Why'd they suck all the volume out of the stock? I mean, this thing was just recently, not too long ago, trading just 5 days ago, 60 million shares, 63 million, 58 million, 33 million, 47 million yesterday, and then down to 26 million shares traded today. Shorts stuck their ugly heads out just a little bit. I don't know. Haven't even taken a look at this stuff, guys. If you didn't notice, I don't do any preparation. There are no facts involved in this turd of a show. So they're doing the exact same thing they did yesterday. They're just borrowing a ton of shares after hours. They borrowed 700,000 yesterday and then 2 million today. Cost to borrow is still basically nothing. Still tons of shares available. They're saying short interest is down, but shares on this is really, Ortex has been really kind of behind the curve. Somewhat unusually. If you look at the filings, one of the really interesting things is if you look at Fidelity Mid Cap Index Fund, they have 3.4 million shares, increased 13% last quarter. Then you just go through Schwab US Mid Cap, increased 15%. There's a couple Fidelity sold one of their smaller shares down 10%, but just looking at the totality of this, Fidelity, again, up 10%. That particular Schwab 1000 Index Fund up 8%. Fidelity Zero Total Market Index Fund up 12%. And it just goes on and on. Mid-Growth Index Fund up. This is another iShares Morningstar ETF up 13%. This is the inevitability, guys. This is the inevitability. Market makers are buying in, and I've told you, it's going to be Goldman Sachs and it's going to be BlackRock, but I think mostly Goldman. I think they're so in bed still with Noto. I think their DNA, I think their culture of just making profits out of nothing really is, running through Anthony Noto's bloodstream and affects everything he does. I think he's, Goldman at heart, and Goldman's shown they're very resilient. They make a ton of money. They're deal makers. Noto's a deal maker, but he's a brilliant numbers guy. I mean, we really have, like I said, two CFOs. Noto's just that good. He has that command of numbers. Not one of these aloof CEOs that's sort of a figurehead and doesn't know the numbers. That's not him. But if you just continue to go down, guys, iShares U.S. Financial Services ETF increased 10%. This short position by Neuberger Bergman sold out. First Trust Midcap Growth increased 16%. iShares U.S. Financial increased 18%. So, there are some sales earlier, but it's very encouraging. Fidelity, Schwab, Vanguard, BlackRock, loading the stock. I think, like I said, institutional ownership, these were filings through, obviously through Q2. Q3 is not over yet. The filings haven't come in yet. But, I mean, the trend the last, 6 months is unmistakable. Just 6 months ago, under 400 million shares. Now it's pushing 500 million shares, 480 or whatever it is. So you have to think, you've seen, institutions buying, you've seen the trend, you see the company continue to move toward that inevitability of, a profitable future, a successful future. You see, I think, people that understand what this company is and are willing to do the work, they're saying how undervalued this company is. 12, 13, you saw that analysis, 17, 29. People think those numbers are crazy, but look at the multiples other companies get. Even like an Upstart, where they are now, a Palantir. I mean, you just want to say AI. I mean, SoFi was just on a Goldman Sachs AI list. And there's been a lot of chatter at Goldman about SoFi. I mean, people like put out the specific notes. You have to find a few things for yourself. But I'm hearing that different places. I really feel like Goldman somewhere is going to push this thing way up with Noto. I feel like they might have that dialed up, guys. What's going on? How's it going, Steve? Steve in the Mountains is here. We got, who else is here? DVD. What's the institutional holding? Right now, I believe they're saying it's 480 million shares at the latest. So I think that's maybe represents about 46% of the shares. DVD. Who else is here, guys? What do we got going? We got Hoodie. We got Clap My Dog. What's going on, guys? Yes. You hope it will go to 7. I don't mind if it goes to 7. Yeah, Derek White is really, really good, guys. Derek White is just a hidden gem, totally undervalued. Many people, not unlike Nautilurker, don't give him the proper respect just because he shaves that head, but there's a lot of brain power going on under there, and it's only hidden by a thin cranium and a bit of skin. You don't have all that hair getting in the way of those thoughts. You can do like a mind meld situation. We got Russell Cade here. Great to finally catch a live stream. What's going on, Russell? Glad to see you, my friend. He'll turn his children chicken soup. I'm ready for another. Yeah, my proud Papa Noto. Unacknowledged that as I am, I'm still very proud to be Anthony Noto's flesh and blood. Hi, Russell. He's in Scotland. Clap My Dog. Scottish. Love the haggis. I'm probably sick of stupid Scottish impressions. What's going on, guys? Let's go. SoFi, what's up, Julius? You got to love the look of Cash Coach and these new credit. Guys, here's the thing about SoFi and a premium credit card and these types of things. SoFi is set up for that because they have a premium customer that's a saver with very high credit, high savings. You see these Robinhood, they're issuing these cards. Robinhood clients, they might have some money in their trading accounts, but I guarantee you, if you start to do an analysis, SoFi's clients have more savings. They have better incomes. They have better credit. These Robinhood people, a bunch of gamblers. Bunch of tiny wing douchebags. No, I like Robinhood's a good product, but I'm saying they're issuing all these credit cards. They're going to have a bunch of bad debt. What happens? Recession hits. Some of the crypto falls apart. That business is going to be in big, big trouble. In my opinion. Now, they're doing very well right now, though. Very well. And I'm bitter, as you can tell. So what's up, Steve? How's it going? He's in the Sierras of the Northwest. Beautiful. Aspen. Let's see. California. Nice. It can be down for the next 2 years. Yeah, sure, it can be down as long as market makers want it down. However, my thing is this: 2 years we're into 2026. You're gonna know if they're gonna hit that 80 cents. What if they hit $1? It won't stay down. Not if it's growth, because if they can hit $1, the growth rate is going to be staggering. It's going to be like 30% plus. I mean, you're not going to see a company that big growing at that rate, making that much money down $7. Just not going to see it. But that is not an easy task, and I'm not saying it's inevitable they accomplish that. But if they do, the stock won't stay down this low. Just won't. You know. Profits fix a lot of things. Guys, by the way, welcome and hello and welcome. It's Un, Poco, Moss, Special After Dark, Insomniac Edition. Thank you for joining me. Hello and welcome. It's the great Katie Wentworth, Steve in the Mountains. It's Clap My Dog. Keep repeating because only the same people are here. What's up, Emilio? How's it going? We got Alec R. What's up, Alec R.? JS, I have 200,000 saved in SoFi and 843 credit score. I'm a SoFi customer for 2+ years. That's what we like to see, JS. You're our bread and butter. God bless you, sir or ma'am, whoever you might be. Dane, good morning from Spain. Way early here in the U.S. What's up, man? How's it going, Victor Hernandez? Good to see you. Un poco más de abrosas para ti. Sí, espresso on you, Victor. I'm going to come over to Spain and stay with you and your lovely family. I'm going to bring my beautiful girlfriend. We definitely need to hit Europe, and we're far too cheap to pay for accommodations. So if any of you are in any sort of beachside, beautiful locations, say in Europe, south of France, no, I'm just kidding, guys. We like normal places, like normal people. So we won't just show up on your doorstep, but we would love to explore Spain with you. Some of our amigos from the internet who we don't actually know. 16,249 shares, 730. Very nice, Victor. Somebody's green, and I'm green with envy, I'll tell you. It's not easy being green. Spain, Gijón. I don't know where that is. I'll have to look it up. I'm sure it's pretty cool. Family in Cadiz, Spain. I don't know Cadiz, Spain. I don't know Spain, guys. I wish I did. I don't know anything. I can barely see my wiener. I'm chunky. Oh, God. Anyway, guys, don't get old. Don't get fat. Don't get stupid. Don't get broke. Don't buy stupid stocks. Just don't be dummy. Thanks, Russell. Thanks for watching, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for viewing. Appreciate it. North of Spain. Excellent. Yeah, it was so funny. Like, I always thought I was, like, almost all German. And then, like, Armo, part of me is Armo, my mom, but then I found out I'm like, I was like almost a third Spanish or something. We never had any Spanish in the family. My brother did one of those DNA things. I'm like, hey, I'm Spanish. Who knew? Anyway, south of Spain, best place in Spain, Costa del Sol. Yeah, Costa del Sol. I've heard about that. Oh, man. Is Spain, like, super expensive? I've heard it's not. Like, I've heard it's less money than, like, France and that. I mean, I'm not trying to, like, go, like, super budget. You guys know me. You know how I do it. But no, it just, obviously, for vacation for me is not the fun as, like, going for, sometimes you just go to I go to a tourist area resort. You just spend a ton of money, and you don't see the real people, the real country, the real culture, which sometimes is fine. You just want to, hang out at the beach and relax and recharge the batteries. That's cool. But if I'm going to be able to go around Spain, I'd like to sort of see the real deal. Anyway, no, it's cheap. Awesome. No, not that expensive. Awesome, guys. Retiring there. That's cool. I wish I just had more time. So busy. It's kind of the, you get in the rat race, you get on the hamster wheel. It's like you want to make more money to afford a better place, afford nicer things, build a better life, but then you have more responsibilities. You can't do the things you want to do. Like I said, before you know it, you're just old and fat, bitter, stupid. Anyway, these things happen, guys. It's inevitable. Like SoFi. I live by the beach, but North Spain is not that warm like South. I say, yeah, of course, yeah, more south you move. Spain's a big country, so I think north to south be pretty big difference in climate. Like, it's a huge difference. Like even California is like, I think 600 miles north to south, or even more than that, 700. So it's like a totally different climate when you go that far. So I assume kind of same deal going on in Spain. Pay is shit. Yeah, I don't want to work anyway, man. I'll trade. I don't need to work. Spent a week in Lloret de Mar, Spain. Drank too much. Cool. Spain goes north, south. All of Spain goes to the south in the summer, huh? Interesting. God, you're all this culture, all this stuff. I just don't know anything about it. I'm just in my bubble, my stupid office, my stupid job, my stupid YouTube channel. Anyway, guys, I didn't really have anything to say in the first place. Maximum pain was, of course, this stupid thing always goes down. Maximum pain is at $8. So it's kind of interesting. Like the last couple of weeks, the share price has closed like $1 above max pain, but there's more calls coming in this week. So you have to think they're really going to want to hold it not too far above 8, but it's just hard to say. I mean, this thing has not been respecting max pain. It hasn't been respecting. I think, market makers are buying and selling options. They got all kinds of trades going. They're short, long. So a guy like me, if my, questionable intellect cannot dig down into those numbers and tell you exactly what's going on. But R Bomber, hey now, what's going on, man? Anyway, guys, JBJ, thanks for checking in. I really appreciate it. I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. But, NASDAQ futures shooting up. You have to think, Upstart went up a ton yesterday. I think there was some catalyst there. SoFi was basically following, ARKF, Firm, some of the other fintechs that were, I think Hood was even down. I don't know. Yeah, Palantir was up just a little bit, but Coinbase was down, Affirm down, Lucid down, PayPal down, Visa down. So even the big bank stocks were down a little bit, same as SoFi. So it's really nothing to worry about. Like I said, made a higher low than we did yesterday. The stock's primed for a reversal, but they're definitely going to want to kill those calls. Probably no higher than like $8.10. So just have to see where we close. Could be down, could be up, could be flat. Really anything can happen, but it's going to be something, and it's going to be exciting, unlike this show. Will SoFi adopt what? IT? A baby? I don't know. Obama and his family vacation in the South. Nice. Dude, Obama knows how to vacation. I'll tell you that. I think that's pretty much all the guy does. Let's see. I think his wife was just hawking some bullshit in Costco. I saw, I don't know, some kind of nonsense. Let's see. Realistic 2025 high for SoFi. End of 2025. So we're talking 3 earnings reports, one more. Oh man, it's really hard to say. There's just so many factors. I mean, I honestly think by the end of 2025 the stock can go to $20. I think that's completely realistic. If the growth really starts accelerating quarter on quarter, the lending goes crazy, you start to see growth come in Galileo, you get that hybrid valuation more toward the tech than the banking side. I don't think that's crazy at all. I mean, if they grow the way I think they're going to grow, I think they're going to really, be over $3 billion by 2025, no problem. And pushing $4 billion by 2026, just like Stone Fox Capital said. So I don't think $20 is unrealistic at all. Call me crazy. Call me Shirley. Just don't call me late for dinner. Q1 2025, $20. I don't know about that. Yeah, well, they could. Yeah, S&P 500, they definitely could. I mean, they're going to have those the quarters they need. They're going to have all the qualifications besides the market cap. It's kind of that catch-22. Market cap's holding them back from joining the S&P 500, which is going to increase their market cap. 2026, 25, 2020, 22 to 25 in Q2. I think you're a little bit aggressive there, Victor. I don't think it's going to go. Yeah, that'd be almost like that'd be a 3x. You know, that'd be a 3x in like the next 2/3 of a year, next 8 months. I mean, I hope it happens. I think fundamentally it's justified. I think, like you said, 17, 29. I mean, it just depends what multiples you apply to the growth. It just depends how fast you think they're going to grow and what that's worth. GARP, growth at a reasonable price. What's reasonable to you? That's really what it is. Right now, the market's saying reasonable is under $8. I don't find that reasonable, but nobody cares what I think. Oh, Katie, 540. Keep coming at me with that. No, guys, could it go back into the sixes? Sure. I don't think it's going anywhere near 540. I mean, institutions were buying high eights. I don't see that why they wouldn't buy high fives. Everybody loves a high five. Anyway, guys, take a look at this Galileo product. I think it might actually be bigger than people think as they continue to roll these things out. These are features nobody else has. So I think this can be important. And the way I see them bringing on a secured card, they can offer the accounts. These don't have to be through banks. Think about like airlines. Think about auto nameplates like GM. I used to have, GM MasterCard. I used to have an AT&T card. Like, why aren't cell phones branding a credit card through SoFi? Why doesn't Verizon have a credit card? If you have your cell phone bill auto paying on that credit card, maybe you save an extra $5 a month and SoFi pays that back, but that card could be branded through SoFi. There's so many things. You get these cards on auto pay, these huge organizations. Why can't they affiliate with one of these car dealers like, Drive Time or CarMax or what's the other one with the stupid vending machine? Carvana that I just keeps going up and up and up, much to my chagrin. Anyway, guys, so I was asking about secure card. Yeah, this is just a really good feature. It ties together the account, the debit, the credit, gives the customer an immediate real-time picture. How much credit do I have available? How much money do I have in the account? Instead of everything being really fragmented. It won't be because of something with SoFi. It'll be a massive sale. Yeah, I mean, it could go that low if, catastrophe strikes the economy and, there's a ton of defaults, economic activity slows and just get into a bad recession. Unfortunately, SoFi has just started making money. They're not very profitable. They're just on the cusp of becoming, they are profitable, but just barely. 2 cents, 1 cent, 1 cent. So that's not going to get you through a recession. Luckily, they have a pretty good balance sheet and with the Fed cutting, I'm not sure we're going to get a bad recession. I really don't think we are. So I think SoFi is going to be fine. I think management's conservative. I think they're sandbagging that 80 cents. I think we could see $1. A lot of it depends on Galileo. Can financial services keep up this growth? Do they add in small business banking? Do they add in options? None of that stuff's in the guidance. So that could be very, very significant. Banking and credit cards are very different here in Spain. No FICO and stuff like that. No, I have no idea, Victor. I don't know. Yeah, no, I got you, Katie. You're just messing with me. You're just yanking my chain. You're just tickling the old funny bone. Yeah, guys, no, thanks a lot. Really appreciate it. Got to get my happy ass to sleep. I got a big day tomorrow. So the futures are, let's see, it's way after 1, so what the hell's going on here? Yeah, so looking to be up just 9 cents in the pre-market, back to 782. So we just have to see. Everything depends on volume and borrowing. They don't want to dig much deeper into the short going into the ER. Remember, the quarter's over. Nothing fell apart. The rate cut's not going to have a huge effect on the numbers this quarter, but it's certainly going to have a big effect on guidance. And that's what the market goes by. Look at, the upstart CEO just basically sort of said, hey, I'm turning the company around next quarter. And the stock's just gone insane. They haven't proven anything. Nodo, SoFi, and team have proven it over and over and over for 3 years. Like Luke was talking about, the consistency is almost unheard of in a publicly traded company. Guys, it's a SoFi stock. It's SOFI. It's Danny Deals. It's Hurricane Lopez. It's Stock Karen. It's not a lurker. It's Alberto Berti Aviles. It's all you basic bitches. Oh, one love, guys. Have a great night. Peace. I'm out.